Welcome to the Four Corners series for Workers and Resources Soviet Republic, and we're picking up on the 3rd of March 1918. This is a very significant date for our small community here because this is the date when the Bolsheviks formally make peace with Germany, effectively ending Russia's formal activities within the war, although there's a lot of spin-offs from the peace treaty that have fairly significant consequences for what's to come, because the other significance of this date is the fact that this represents the real start of the Russian Civil War, which will run on until 1923. So we're just about to have another 5 years of conflict, and I think it's quite important to mention that this conflict would kill more Russians and other peoples as well, because there was various wars of independence down what is now we will now call Eastern Europe in respect to Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania, Poland. I think Hungary and Romania get involved as well. There are more deaths during these Russian Civil War period than actually died during the First World War. I mean, it was a pretty horrific time for Russia, and it's also worth noting that the vast majority of the people who died didn't die from conflict. They actually died from disease and malnutrition. In fact, famine became quite wide in the later part of the Russian Civil War. However, for the rest of 1918, we've still got a little bit of time to get our community self-sufficient, because during this period, the Bolsheviks are still trying to establish their power base, and also it's probably important to realize that compared to the First World War, with all the formal battles, a lot of the conflict during the Russian Civil War actually happened along the railways with armored trains, and especially during the 1918 period, there was no formal front lines. So a community like this, living in the depths of Russia, minding its own business, wouldn't even know whose territories they were actually in. In fact, one of the characteristics of some of the opening conflicts of the Civil War, and it's quite important to understand that the Red Army was formed after the October Revolution, but this time the Red Army is still being put together, mainly with the desertions of troops from the front line mixed up, so it's relatively inexperienced, so it's not really set up to fight formal battles anyway. And I think that's about all I want to talk about the Civil War in this point. And as we go forward, we'll talk a little bit more in the subsequent videos, but the key thing I would like you to take away from this is that for the rest of this year is our grace period to try and make our little community self-sufficient. We'll just get the game rolling forward, because that is going to be the way we're going to represent the Civil War, that our community has to become completely self-sufficient, and we will get to a point in 1919 where there'll be no more imports, except for possibly emergency inputs if there's something to do with the game mechanics where it stores all building. But that's going to be very much the focus going forward. From an export perspective, we're going to keep exporting food and alcohol, because armies, no matter whatever stripe they are, need food, need alcohol. And we're going to probably make a little bit of money. Possibly, if things are going well, we may represent the effects of armies coming through, stealing all the food and taking away some of the surpluses if we got stuff. But at the same time, we just still need to keep the game going. That out of the way, the next thing I want to say is a big thank you for your comments and feedback. As usual, you guys give me quite a lot to think about. Now, somebody did post a comment saying about that Workers and Resources is very much a game of patience, and they are quite right from that perspective, because to be able to build a successful economy, you do need to be patient. You need to build a solid foundation. And one thing I can take away from doing these early starts is, because the communities are so small, and also you need to pay attention to some of the mechanics, which it's very easy to assume that you know when you do a 1960 start and you plonk down a big massive factory. And I think this is one of the benefits of an early start. It lets you to get down and see the mechanics at work at that very much slower building pace. So before we get going into the details, I'm just going to talk a little bit about the economy. You can see the imports now, as far as I know, we're no longer importing meat, and we're no longer importing bricks. So the imports we need to deal with is, well, steel technically we can get from the wagon maker, and that is going to represent the shortages, because we're going to have to get our steel from the wagon maker with all the consequences. I know some of you would say that's cheating, but I'm looking at the fact that represents our struggle to get the steel to build things going forward. and that also applies to electronics and electro components. So that's going to be one of our restrictions in its own way. So that means what we really need to do is get the bitumen and cement up and running. Now the bitumen up here, it still needs to be built, so this has to be one of our main target buildings, is getting this up and running. We also need to build the bus stop here. In fact, I'm just going to rename this New Hope bitumen, because we need to know that, because that's going to be one of our... Wow, that was quick. Now I think beyond building up the bitumen plant, New Hope is fairly stable, but one thing we are getting is over 21s now. So what I want to do is pull out, we got 18, and what I'm intending to do is pull them from here. I think it's worth to say that we are now getting a little bit of a critical mass in our population, although I'm kind of a bit inclined to build this up because we didn't really sow these fields particularly very quickly. Plus we're going to need workers up there, but wondering, I think maybe we need to build this. So we're going to put workers, bulk supplies, steel, concrete, and the road crew on that. Because what this is going to be our primary bus station, and we're going to need to get workers up here. That means what we're going to need to do is bring in some buses, get that set up. I don't think I've got any buses. I've got all these Roman horse-drawn plows. In fact, I think what we'll do is we'll set up, and we'll set up for 2 of those. And if we're going to sell some of these horse-drawn combines because I don't really need them at the moment, and they're kind of clogging up my inventory. And of course, right away. Now we do need the dumpers, because we're going to need the dumpers over here for this area once this is built. Generally out here things are sorted out. I've got the meat distribution working into here, and we are now technically self-sufficient with respect to food, although I just want to check where we've got distribution just to make sure. What are you bringing out here? You're bringing out the crops. You're delivering crops to there as well, and you're delivering crops to here. Okay, so we're good there. Now the other thing I'm also thinking about is a university out here, because this could get to a fairly large town, because I'm kind of looking at the industries I've built around here. So we're going to have to kind of try and make this town a little bit bigger. So I am going to put a university in here. Originally I wasn't, but we put a small one in, or a large one on this corner. I think I'll start with just going to put a small one in here, I think, just to get this up and running. Maybe we'll put it that way around, and we can always put a bigger one in later on. I don't want to kind of overload this too much. Just get some footpaths in here. I just want to have a little bit of education, or advanced education, going, so that we've got a reasonably well educated workforce. We're building this here. This area is pretty sorted now because we've got the factory connections connecting up here. This has kept us warm through the winter. We're producing boards, and the Titus construction office here is picking up the boards from here. And the only delivery this has got now for the moment is down to here, to ensure that we're still producing the food here. So that is pretty good. This area, we've completed the quarry here. We're working on this distribution office, which is going to bring the gravel up from here to here. Although, to be honest, this is probably going to be... this is finished, so what we need to do is set New Hope workers to there. Because all we need here to build this is workers. We need to get this finished. This needs concrete. Yeah, it's the distance that's going to make the difference. What I'm thinking also is that once we've got the cement works set up here, which I have... Oh, we got a fire. Come get in there, fire crews. I'm really glad that I built these fire engines, because I actually had a fire right up here. So I think having those good quality fire engines is making quite a big difference. We got bulk supply here. So we need the road crew on that one there. And I think we're going to keep the road crew building the roads here. And we're going to increasingly use Titus here, because they've got the construction train wagons, whatever you want to call them. Actually, let me just I think if the bulk supply guys were not doing much, were they? No, I think we can bring these out here, add these to it as well. Now, in the last part I was talking about up here, and I am thinking about our new village over here. What I would like to do is possibly plan our new village out here, but part of me says that let's build the road out first. And we've got this road here, and this road kind of runs through here. I'm wondering whether we can start to, if we build it in stages like that, and again we'll just, when it's going to be a long way for the road crew and the bulk supply to drag out, but I think if I can build this road out to here, that means we can then start planning the village. And what I'm thinking is to have the village in this area, then eventually this will expand out, because I would like to have some docks here. And of course, what we'll be able to do is send the workers up to here. So this is probably going to be a village of 2 centers. So I know the official center is here, but kind of bringing backwards towards this way. See, these guys are already built. I was just going to give him crap there. If we can get the rock crusher built, problem is what we do need is this built as well. And this is steel, so we're going to put in steel. We're going to have to put concrete on here to deliver the mechanical components. And we're also going to need the workers here as well. Of course, the other thing we do need to make sure of is, right, we've got this here. Would that cover? Yeah, that would provide the power here. Just see what the situation is with mechanical components. Right, we don't. That's 2. How many mechanical components do I need? There's part of me says let's stock up with some mechanical components, but is that cheating? Let me just see. Can't remember who is bringing in the mechanical components here, but we don't actually have anyone bringing in the components. What's the situation with the components? Right, we got fabric, we got plastic, we got electronics, we got a little bit of mechanical components. I think what we're going to do is we're going to fill up our reserve with mechanical components. You're going to come in there. You're going to come into trading. You're going to come into there. We're just going to let you guys kind of run backwards and forwards, filling this up. Actually, I could put mechanical components up here. No, we're just going to leave this on logs for the moment, because I mean the amount of mechanical components we're going to use is going to be quite small. So we're just going to get that built there. This road's being built. This is going to take a very long time. I think once it's been built, it'd be worth it. I think I would like to build this as well. Okay, we're going to put the New Hope road crew and bulk supply on there. And I think I'm going to need another construction office out here. The question is, where can I build it? I just feel the need for more vehicles. I'm wondering, this needs asphalt though. I'm still inclined to stick with these little construction offices at the moment because they kind of make sense for me. Just wondering whether we can just slip it in there where this gravel road is. We're just gonna, yeah, I think we'll put one in there. And again, we're just gonna put Titus onto there. On the road connection, sorry. In fact, I think what we're going to do is make this into a road crew. We're going to rename you Titus Road Crew, because the distance for distance for New Hope is getting a little bit too big. So I think what we'll do is we'll just get this built, and then we'll equip it as a road crew with excavators and dumpers. In fact, I wouldn't. Probably what I might do is, how can you say, is I think what I might do is make this predominantly excavators so that we can push out with the roads, and then possibly, in fact, I think I will do it. Come in here. We can get another one on the other side, like that. This is a bit short, so Titus groundworks, bulk supply workers there. I think what I'll do is exactly the same as I've done down here, where I have a road crew here with predominantly excavators. Then we'll make this into the we'll call you Titus bulk supply as well, because we're really going to need to try and accelerate this push for self-sufficiency. I think if we can get that going here, electricity problem, where are you? Yeah. I think the problem's the wind, probably. I think the wind drops down. So we're going to need to work on a power plant over here as well. You can see we're going to need the mechanical components, because this needs mechanical components. And I think what we will do is put the road crew on here as well. And this is going to need mechanical components as well. So I think it's going to be quite important to get that done. How are we doing? Wow, we got 37 over 21s. Well, bit of a population boom here. So let me just come in here. Although, to be honest, if we start getting over 21s, and what we'll do is we'll take the approach that somebody suggested, that we'll treat them, the over 21s, as being conscripted into the Russian army, or the Red Army now, isn't it? Not the Russian army, although we've now filled this up. we are getting so we've got 892 workers at the moment. So we're getting a little bit of momentum going, which I'm quite happy. We get this built, then we're getting overflow here, and if we get this built, we're getting overflow here. But we built a platform here. Just take this off. I don't want anyone wandering up here. And if I built a bus, it is unable to store finished vehicle. I could pull one of you out and send you to there. What's for that? I have to sell you, I think. what we're going to do is, okay, actually I think we'll set a formal route up. Haven't done one of these in this part so far. And we're just going to run you up to there and call you New Hope Bitumen. That's how you spell bitumen, can never remember. And we're going to come there. Very cool. But we're assigned to a workplace. Right, so it's going to make life a bit tricky because I think I've filled, no, got space here. So what we're going to have to do is send you to there. How many workers have we got here? Got a few workers in here, and I think what I will do is there's a truck here. You've got 2 Mack trucks. In fact, I think what we'll do is we'll pull one of the Mack trucks from here. We'll assign you to there. And that means I can then we'll send one of the open holes from there. And then we've got a couple of open holes. No, those are dumpers, not open holes. And then we'll pick up you and go there as well. And you can go there as well. While that, what we got being built, all we got is steel here. Needs gravel, and so we need bulk supply, concrete, ground crew. In fact, we'll put everybody on it because we need this to get finished so that we can go in here. There's the, where's the wagon? Is that the passenger wagon coming back here? I think he's just, where's the passenger wagon gone then? Come on, game. I'm sure I sent there's right New Hope Bitumen. I'm just going to get you here, release you, and you're going to pick up, I think we'll go with all the educated workers, and you're going to get in there. And that is our first formal bus route, which we can take a few workers up to here and get that built there. So we got anyone assigned to here? Titus Steel. I think we'll get concrete and bulk supply on that as well. And we got a little bit of a here. You're going to need the workers on here so that we can finish that little bit of a factory connection there. The meat farms is really improved quite a lot since I've put these factory connections in, and I think we, but not that well though by the look of it. Obviously we're not getting that much in the way of meat. I think we got a pile of meat over here though. Oh no, it's all dropping down quite slowly now. So, although to be honest, I'm not that worried about the fact that if this slows up a little bit. We've now got some accommodation here. We've still got some over 21s coming in here. See where they are. kind of really in this central area here. So do is just pop about 20 in there. You should be able to get to everywhere you want to go. More importantly, if I show you here, it means they can get out to here where we've got the ore storage. That's not going to help very much. But once we've built this road here, we can start putting out here to get our oil tankers done. What's up with you? You need concrete. Okay, I've messed up here as well, haven't I? I'm kind of thinking concrete plant, though we do need the cement plant, don't we? What do we need for the cement factory? Or no, it's the calcium. Yeah, calcium furnace. Actually, I built it, didn't I? Oh, sorry. Didn't I put a calcium furnace out here? Yeah, so we've got the calcium furnace out here. I'm kind of thinking we need a cement plant, but what I would like is something that's a bit more capacity than the one we got over there. Not cement plant, concrete plant. But we could build it out here off these spur roads here. Let me see, what do we need for concrete? I think we go back to page 1. Got the small hot mix plant. That. And we got a small concrete batching plant. That needs prefab, so we can't use that. Stoneworks, carpenters, rock crusher, concrete plant here. This is the really small one. Okay, maybe there is one in here somewhere. What was it? Charcoal kilns. Got a concrete plant here. These are the really small ones. I was hoping to get something that's going to be a little bit bigger. Concrete mixer plant, that needs fuel. The batching plant involves bringing in prefabs. I didn't know that. Rock crusher. Does that mean we've got to build something like that? That'd be annoying. I suppose I could tuck it in just here. We could get a little bit more concrete going. Although my instinct is that I don't know if I don't really want to crowd that. I think at the same time we need to get some workers in. Let me just see, how far can you walk? 200. I think maybe if we get in the small concrete. Let me just get back here. One ton. I think if we can slip that in there, that will put it in range of the power plant. Like that. And you can get Titus groundworks and the road workers on that. And what we'll do is we'll just put a small concrete plant in there, because that will be near the actual calcium furnace. What is Titus doing at the moment? These guys don't... Well, you're delivering to all sorts of stuff. You need workers. So I think what we're going to need to do is allow everything to try and catch up a little bit now. I think let's drop that down to about 10. probably need another bus out here. I wouldn't mind connecting this road with gravel as well. Probably is to build this road, we're going to have to go all the way around there, but we definitely need to infill some of these roads here. If we can find the bus or related vehicles. Well, he's got 5 work. How many vehicles on this? I think we might need a few more workers here. Okay guys, we've got a bit of an issue. So we're going to need to build a wind turbine up here. I think what we're going to do is we're going to put a big one in here. Yeah, a bit of a mistake there. We'll put a pretty fairly big one in so that we cover parts of the town as well. So say, for example, say we put it about there. That would give us something that's a bit more overlapping. Yeah, so that was a mistake on my part. Bulk supply. Oh, we need to build a wind turbine here. So at the moment we'll just let the workers come up here, and so this is a little bit of a waste at the moment. But that's okay. We learn by our mistakes. I suppose one way you can look at it is we're building some pretty extensive eco towns here. What are we actually doing for mech components? Right, where's that little truck? The vehicle that we were running backwards and forwards. He's just kind of being in the way at the moment. Yeah, so you've got, where are you? Okay, you can go to there for the moment. How's our imports? So we haven't fixed. Yeah, we spent quite a lot of money on mechanical components and steel, and we do need to sort this cement problem out. But to do that, we need to assign you the Titus groundworks, bulk supply, and workers to get that built. And we also need this built. I think for the moment we're going to set this to Titus, and you need concrete and you need bulk supply to get started on that. I think getting this built is going to be quite important. This has been built. I think I would like put the road crew on there, bulk supply and steel. Put Titus steel and concrete on there. Oh, as far as I know, yeah, you can pick up the boards from here, so it means you don't have to haul the boards all the way up from over here. Right, we've got a new home here, so that should deal with the over 21 situation. So we're getting up to nearly 956 workers. So we've got a population of 2,000. We do need to keep an eye on our food situation and our crop situation now. So we're out of crops here. We're out of crops here. Who is distribute? Because we got some surplus crops here. Who is doing the? Let's crop collect. Because we trying to work out. Okay. This is the one that's picking up from here. This is New Hope Village Storehouse. So you're picking up from there. I think we can add this to there, because this is all pickups. So yeah, we need to add you there so that you can pick up that. Let's see what we got crop wise. I mean, it's working out quite well actually, because I'm actually consuming all the crops now. So what we may have to do is stop the crop exports, but we'll do that once the crops start coming in, because truthfully we don't need to make the money. Yeah, at the moment we're exporting about 25 tons a month, which we're going to need for other purposes going forward. So I think we probably can suspend the crop exports once we get into the new cycle. Also means that we're going to have to probably think of a new farm as well. So what we'll probably have to do is possibly put a new farm down here, or out here actually, because although we could, well, we'll see how it goes. We get food shortages, we get food shortages. That's all part of the Civil War. Right, we're kind of in mechanism territory now. Let me just go back over to here, and we'll just see. Right, we've got our 2 buses. I think what I'd like is a couple of I think we probably need more excavators, so I'm gonna make a couple of those. We're gonna hook out passenger 1, and we're gonna send you down to there. So we're actually getting more workers into here. So we're working on that, working on this here, and of course we need to get this finished. We've got road crew. Actually, Titus, what are you doing? Oh, you're busy. So I think we're now getting down to the point where we just need to let things run through and see how things are going. I think we'll probably get workers out here once we've got gravel delivered here. We'll add bulk supply to there just in case Titus can't deliver. We need another 1.9 tons of gravel here, then we can get this concrete plant built. We also need to think about getting the calcium plant built, because I don't really want to haul cement all the way out here. Right, let me just go round the construction offices and see who's doing what. You've got a whole load of stuff there. This just needs gravel. So, yeah, I think it's going to be quite important to get these 2 construction offices built. We need to build them up to give us more capacity. See, like we got, I think the extra concrete capacity will make a difference, because technically once we've finished this expansion, this is going to be this town complete. The only possibility is that we could add another farm up here. Actually, we could extend the road here out and up, and then put another farm here. Although we could possibly add more fields to this farm, but we'd have to put a second farming building in to get maximum efficiency. think we can postpone any more house building in this area for the moment. Yep, so got no over 21s. We're kind of hanging in there at 983 at the moment. Of course, we're not. What we're doing at the moment is predominantly exporting boards from here, because our main board production now is over here. You just want to check something. Make sure these guys are only shipping steel. He's actually unloading the bricks directly to Titus, and of course he should be picking the bricks up from the brick kiln here. And of course he's now delivering the bricks down to here as well. So yep, I'm quite happy with this being blocked at the moment. How are you? Why you've got crop things there. Cannot export steel. So we got steel surplus. That is interesting. I don't think we actually got any slack for steel at the moment. Who is importing my steel? I can't even remember now, to be honest. I think what we're going to do is we're going to suspend the steel import, and then we're going to increase that to 90%, and then we're going to tell him to pick up the steel from there, from the blacksmith, as long as it's over 20%. And 20% of 10 is 2 tons. So this is going to represent the beginning of our shortages now, because we're going to have to produce the steel in order to get it into here to be able to deliver and carry on building. And it's going to prove quite a challenge, actually, to be honest, because when we get to these buildings, these are big, and things like the pipe here, we're going to need lots of steel, so life is going to get a bit tough, because I do want to keep the production going in this area. So I don't want to sell the steel, because it just seems a bit pointless, to be honest, because eventually we're going to need to balance this to get in order to be able to keep our economy going. It's probably the polite way of saying it. I think, to be honest, that's going to be even a bit more of a challenge than just kind of carrying on importing it, because we are going to need to balance these requirements now with our construction, our mechanical components, electrical components. Of course, the plastics, we're just carrying on doing what we're doing, is just dumping it. So we're now on the 8th of July. Let's just check. I mean, we've still got surpluses in here and here, so it's not like we're running short of, we were going to be running short of food in this area. And of course, over here, the food is where we've still got food in here as well, and the ability to produce logs. So it's not like we're going. I think we can just set Titus there. You just need there. Well, and of course you're going to need workers eventually. Well, actually, I'm not going to assign workers directly. That will have to be built with the kind of Titus ground crew here. Okay, I'm just going to put Titus groundworks and steel on there as well, so that we could just build in those offices. Right, we've built the conveyor, we got this built now. What's holding up this? Mechanisms. It's the mechanisms that's causing the problem. And I think that's exactly it. You still need concrete. I don't understand why. Is it the fact that we have a problem with concrete? No, we've got the cement. There's our cement truck going that way. Interesting. Got this job that needs to be finished here. I think we'll put the workers on that just to try and get that finished as well. Because if we get that finished, we can actually bring this into use with respect to, actually, what I wouldn't mind is just do that as well. And put the New Hope Road crew and bulk supply on that one as well. Because we're going to use this as a drop-off point for our farm up here. We might as well actually put gravel there as well. And what we got here, so this is really busy. Let me just go round and see. It looks like we got all our workforce going full blast. Just check the tree situation as well. Kind of feel a little bit like having this truck up here is a bit of a waste at the moment. You dropping anyone off? Oh, no, got a couple of workers, but they're actually going in there. They're actually helping with the construction, which is good. I know there's only 2 of them, but it's keeping that moving forward. We've got this area here that needs a mechanism. We need mechanisms, lots of. So I think at the moment all I can do now is just let the game run and see how well we can get things done. We've got over 1,000 workers now. Yeah, I think part of the problem is we got mechanisms working on these roads here, and if we can get a tiny little bit more concrete in here. So we're getting workers delivered to here, but we just need that tiny little bit of concrete. Get this finished. If we can get the rock crusher finished and this finished, we can start producing gravel here, which will mean that when we get these finished here, the bulk supply here finished, they can supply gravel from here, which will then speed up the process. And of course, we can also set up a distribution office which will take the gravel up to our cement works here, or our calcium thing here. And of course, once we got the coal there, that will make us self-sufficient in cement. I think the actual calcium furnace thing is pretty good. I mean, it will produce 1.8 tons of cement a day for very small amounts of gravel and coal. And I think that would probably be more than enough for our, what we call it, for our concrete production. We've got a small aggregate store. See, we could put this, say, here, like that. Would I need it? I think I'm just going to keep that as an option for the moment, because if all goes to plan, it won't be long before we've got this area kind of online, and therefore this would become redundant. Yeah, I've just realized that I'm gone on a little bit too long, so we're just going to have a quick recap of the situation at the moment. So we're waiting for this to be finished, and the rock crusher, which is coming along quite nicely. If we can just get that last little bit of concrete in there, And if we can get this running, because we can get the dumpers down here, we can get gravel coming into here, which means that we can start supplying things. We've got this being built here. We've got our university underway. And of course, we need to build in some of these plants here. Is that allocated? Let me just check. Not allocated at the moment. I think at the moment that can just wait a little bit while we catch up. We've got this area here. Over here, all my construction offices are empty, so all the guys must be busy. We've still got a nice supply of gravel there. Of course, what we got up here is this area being built up. Hopefully we can get the pitch extraction finished as well. And of course, once we got the wind turbine finished here, we can start producing the logs here. Of course, we get this built here, we can store, we can put bricks and logs into here. So that will increase the capacity of this brick plant. But this is where I'm going to leave it. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Hope you found it interesting. And until next time, whatever you do, enjoy your gaming.